This is the first video on Word Module 3 in the Shelly Cashman book on Microsoft Office 365. We're starting off on Word page 3-3, and we're on the section that says to start Word and change Word settings. Now, the first thing it says is if you're using a computer to step through the project in this module and you want your screens to match the figures in the book, change your screen's resolution to 1366 by 768. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave mine on HD, which is 1080 resolution instead of 768. And the reason I'm doing that is you can see more stuff on the ribbon if you do that because you got more pixels to work with. And so it's easier to find things if you have more pixels. And besides that, it's the year 2022 and HD is pretty much a standard everywhere now. So the monitor that you're working on is most likely a 1080 monitor as well. So your monitor should match mine. So we're going to leave it as an HD monitor, and we're going to look at number one. We've already started Word, and it wants us to create a blank document. So we're going to go to our File tab here and choose Blank Document. If we're not in Print Layout, go down here and click on the Print Layout button, but odds are that you're going to start up in Print Layout. If the Show Hide button is not pushed in, go ahead and push that in. You'll know it's in because you'll see paragraph marks at the end of every paragraph that you do. And if we want to see this take up the entire width, which makes it easier to read, we can click on the View tab up here and click on Page Width, and it was already set on that as well, so we're not going to see any changes. Okay, now let's flip over to page 3-4, creating a letterhead. So there's a brief explanation of what letterhead is on page 3-4, and then we start actually creating the letterhead at the top of page 3-5. So we want to go to the Insert ribbon, so click on the Insert tab here, and the Insert ribbon pops up. And we want to click on the Shapes button. We're going to insert a shape here. And the shape that we want is the rectangle. And so that may appear in recently used shapes up here, or it may just appear in the rectangles group down here. So go ahead and click on that. Then what we want to do is position the cursor somewhere near the middle of our document here. Let's flip over to page 3-6, and we want to drag the mouse to the right and downward to form the boundaries of the shape. So if we just click and drag, we should have crosshairs for our cursor now, and we're going to end up with something that looks like this. It says release the mouse button so it draws the shape according to your drawing in the document window, and we want our dimensions of this to be, notice when we select a shape here, we get this shape format ribbon that appears. If we click off of the shape, that all goes away, but click back on the shape and it'll reappear. And we want to set the height of this to 0.5 inches, and we want the width, click your tab down to the width, and we want that to be 5 inches, and hit enter. And now we're going to go to page 3-7. We're going to change the position of our object here. So with the shape still selected, click the position button right up here, and it tells us to experiment with different positions in the position gallery. The one that we want is position in top center with square text wrapping. So let's try this one, and top center with square text wrapping. So click on that, it'll put it at the top of the page and it will center it between the margins. And now we're going to flip over to page 3-8. So if we want to change an object's text wrapping, the way that text will get wrapped around the shape, we're going to keep this shape selected. We're going to click the Layout Options button, which is this button right here. Go ahead and click on it, and we'll get a number of options. The one we want is top and bottom. So this is going to be the way the text wraps around this. So there'll be text above it and there'll be text below it, but there will not be text on top of the box or to the left or the right of the box. So we want top and bottom. Go ahead and select that and click on the X to close. Now we're at the bottom of page 3-8, we're going to apply a shape style. So a style is basically some colors that will apply to the shape, a border style and a border color, perhaps rounded corners, things like that. And there are a bunch of predefined styles. So let's take a look at number one at the bottom of page 3-8. With the shape still selected, click the More button in the Shapes gallery. Okay, so here's our Shapes galleries. and we want to click on the More button right here. If ever you see a little button here with a little line, a little arrow with a little line above it, that's always called the More button. And so these are a bunch of predefined styles. And if you have one there that you like, then you don't have to go in and customize the style yourself. So what we want is I'm on the top of page 3-9 now. We want to point to moderate effect orange accent 2. So it's the fifth row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's the third one over right here. So your document should look like this now. Now we're on the bottom half of page 3-9. We want to change the shape outline. So we want to click on the Shape Format tab up here at the top. This should already be selected. We want to display the Shape Outline Gallery. So here's the shape outline. Click on the down arrow. And what we want is gold accent 4, the 8th color in the first row. So that would be this one right here. The shape outline is probably only about 1 pixel wide, so you really don't notice a change when you do that. But if you click off of this, you may be able to see that's a little bit lighter color all the way around the outside of this rectangle shape. Okay, let's flip over to page 3-10. We want to add an effect to the shape. So let's go back and reselect our shape. And we want to go to Shape Effects up here. We're going to do a glow effect. We want 5-point gold accent color 4, 5-point color 4. There we go. So they're all labeled. So now that's a little bit bigger. And now we're going to add some text to the shape. We're at the top of page 3-11. Want to right click the shape, and a mini toolbar pops up, and a shortcut menu. We want to click Add Text on the shortcut menu. Go ahead and click on that, and we get a flashing I-beam, and we can insert our text there. So we're going to type Sunset State College. Then we're going to go to the bottom of page 3-11. We're going to increase the font size. So we're going to select our text right here. And we need to go back to the Home tab. So click on the Home tab up here. And we want to increase the font size until we get to 24. So we could do the increase button here one at a time, but the easy way is just go here and choose 24. Okay, let's flip over to page 3-12. We're going to bold the text and we're going to save the letterhead document. So it's still selected here. Let's go to our bold button up here on the Home tab in the font group. Click on bold, or you can type Control B to make it all bold. So now your document should look like this. We want to click anywhere in the text in the shape to remove the selection and place the insertion point in the shape. So there we go. Then number 3 says save the letterhead on your hard drive, OneDrive, or other storage location using the name SCWD3 Sunset State Letterhead. So let's do a file, and we'll do a save as, and you can navigate to wherever you want to go. I'm just going to put this on my desktop, and I'm going to call it SC for Shelly Cashman, WD for Word, 3 for Module 3, and then Sunset State Letterhead. It will put the DOCX on the end for us. Go ahead, click on Save. When it gets done saving, it should take you out of this window and back to your document. The next few sections of Module 3 have to do with inserting and modifying a picture. So we will do that all in a separate video. So we'll stop right here and continue at the middle of page 312 on the next video.